Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's topic will be on unemployment and the reasons behind people filing for unemployment in response to the COVID virus and the amount of money that individuals are receiving due to unemployment and what's allowing them to stay at home and refuse to go back to work. So, before we get started, I go by One Cheap Compadre, and you are watching Cheap Compadre TV. Now, the purpose of this is to give you a better perspective and understanding and clarity of both sides of the spectrum when it comes to unemployment and work. Now, you have individuals who believe that those individuals who decide to accept unemployment, that they are lazy, that they need to get back to work, that they're not fulfilling their obligations and their more uh, moral compass and working. While you have another side that believes that there should be programs implemented to help those individuals who do not have the same mindset or capabilities to get back to work. So, what I need you to do is stay to the end so you can get all the clarity and understanding of why so many people are refusing to go back to work and continue to stay on unemployment. Because this has been going on for years, and Republicans and Democrats have been at odds when it comes to unemployment and programs and working. Now, many YouTube videos and news syndicates are out here and are discussing unemployment and the unemployment numbers. Now, yesterday there was 2.4 million individuals who applied for unemployment, while at the same time, many states around the country are halfway or slightly opening businesses back up. Now, now, let me go ahead and get started on the reasons for many individuals deciding on staying on unemployment and refusing to go back. And I'm going to talk about remedies to get people back to work and building more confidence in this country and growing the economy, and at the same time continue to be safe. Now, with the Republicans, you have individuals who, straight up, honestly, feel that people who are refusing to go back, that they are just straight out being lazy, that they need to go back, they need to help grow the economy, they need to start supporting local businesses once again, and that's their main concern. Remember, Republicans are about the individual. They are pro-business. They are big business. All they're concerned about is capitalism, making money, keeping the economy growing. Now, on the other end, the other spectrum, you have the Democrats who believe that there should be programs put in place to help those people who are in need, that need an extra hand in trying to get themselves out of their rut, out of their problem, and then eventually on the way to getting a job and being prosperous. Now, in order to get people back to, well, first of all, let's talk about what's causing people to stay unemployed. Now, it doesn't take a rocket science to understand basic economics. When you have people who can stay home, make more money than they would working, and at the same time avoid the virus. Now, people say, no, that is foolishness. Why are people so concerned about the virus? And, well, I can tell you from experience. I have a friend that I talked to a couple of days ago, and he says that he refuses to go back to work because he's so concerned about this virus right now, and simply because there's no vaccine. So this is real. You have individuals who are actually concerned and who are scared of going back to work. This is a fact. This is not made up. This is no joke. Now, you have people making $600 a week. That's on top of the unemployment insurance. Now, they're making more than what they would be going to work. So they can go home, they can stay home, they don't have to worry about the virus, they can also make a good living. Why not? Why would you refuse that opportunity? Now, if you're making, say, $10,000, $12,000 a month, it makes no sense for you to be on unemployment because you're making more money. So you have more of a incentive to go to work, opposed to somebody who's making barely minimum wage and is barely holding on and surviving. Where now they actually have an extra $100 to $300 more a month, where they can use that for food, for bills, and other things that are considered a need. Okay, now you're probably upset, those who are stakeholders, those who are small businesses and big businesses. You want people to get back to work. You want people to help stimulate the economy, help it grow again. Now, both of these political parties have good points, but something they're lacking that they keep brushing over and not focusing on. And what will get people back to work, and very few people talk about this, what will get them back to work is a higher wage where they can actually take care of themselves, where they can have some dignity, they can actually have the sense of feeling more prosperous. Now, that's not a no-brainer. I mean, people have not received raises since the early 2000s. All right. Now, on top of that, not just raises that people need, they need a livable wage where they can survive. But on top of that, they need benefits. Now, many of these jobs that they were counting before we had this crisis, many of these jobs were contract work. Now, I don't know if all of you know about contract work, but basically this is how it works. You make a certain amount, the schedule is flexible, but you do not have benefits. So basically, if they were to fire you the next day, you wouldn't be able to apply for unemployment. And that could be one of the reasons why a lot of people are not able to get their unemployment right now, probably due to them being contract workers. So basically, that was probably accounted for a lot of the workforce that was going on before the virus had hit us. So basically, um, this is the reason why we need to have workers with benefits, because that's less people who have to be concerned about um, being able to pay a medical bill, being able to actually uh, avoid being put into a situation where they have no money, they can't afford the medical bills, and have to apply for bankruptcy. Okay, because many years before the Affordable Care Act, many people were filing for bankruptcy because they could not pay their medical bills. So basically, if you're a contract worker and something was to happen to you, then guess what? You're pretty much working for free, because if something happens and you have to pay that medical bill and it's very expensive, then all that money you saved and made will have to go towards that. All right. So if you were to give people benefits, a livable wage, and what I mean by livable wage, $15-$20. Now, should you have a universal wage? No, because everyone should not be paid the same. Okay, but we should have a minimum wage where people can live with dignity. They can be able to take care of themselves, be able to pay their bills, be able to save some money, so when a crisis comes, that they'll be able to stay afloat and not depend on the government. Because I know with the Republicans, they always talking about that they don't want anyone dependent on the government. We don't want to depend on the government. Less intervention, right? Less regulation, right? So in order for that to happen, you're going to have to start paying people more. Now, I know that many companies are in it to make a profit, but at the same time, if you want people to get back to work, then you got to give them an incentive. Because if you could stay home and make more money than you would making instead of going to work, then which one would you choose, right? So basically, if you want people to start leaving their homes, start going back to work, then you got to give them incentive. Give them $15-$20 an hour with benefits. So if they were to get sick, they can get sick leave, okay? Because many of these jobs that are counted in employment numbers are contract work, where people are flexible. They don't have to worry about going in at a certain time, all right? But at the same time, they're lacking benefits, and if they were to get fired, then they're not able to apply for unemployment. So now you have more pay, you have benefits now. Now, one last incentive to get people back to work, and this is something that they really don't talk about much. But how about giving them a class on how to save money, how to invest, how to start your own business. These are some things that we need to start teaching individuals, that you can't just depend on a 9 to 5. You have to find other ways, other means of making money, passive income. All right. So when next time a crisis comes, at least you'll have some money saved up where you don't have to be concerned about where you're going to get your money, where you're going to get money, because you'll be able to get money from your own bank account. You'll be able to get money from your investments. So that's what we need to do in order to get people back to work. We need to give them a livable wage, $15-$20 an hour. And if you're living in a place where it may be more, the cost of living may be more, then you'll make even more money, okay, opposed to a place where cost of living is lower. Then on top of that, you'll have benefits. So you won't have to worry about your money that you work for is going to go towards your benefits if you were to get hurt. Then you won't have to be concerned about, okay, you won't be able to afford this money, these medical bills, because they're too expensive. And then on top of that, you're going to have a class where they'll teach you how to invest, how to save. So when the next crisis comes, you won't have to depend on the government looking for assistance from them. Because it's time to start learning from this crisis. We should have learned from previous recessions, the Great Depression, everything, the dot-comers busting, all of that. We should have learned from that. And I mean, after a few weeks, a few days, weeks, a few months, I mean, we're already at a point where we don't have any money, we don't have any savings. I mean, we can't get to a point where just a minute, small thing can cause a disruption in your life where you have to be dependent and worry and concern on when you're going to get your next meal or where you're going to get your money from. So those are the things that basically will get people back to work. So tell me, what do you think? What do you think will get them back to work? Do you agree that they'll need a livable wage, that they'll need benefits, that they would need a class on basic finance literacy to get them at a place where they can be sufficient and sustainable without the government, and be able to receive some form of prosperity as these businesses, as small pops and stores? So what do you think? Do you agree with that, or is there other ways to get people back to work? So let me know in the comment at the bottom. So make sure to hit the bell,